basis to measure the level of progress in agriculture. As we know, government has been preparing and the private sector has been waiting to see. But this time around, we have seen that all the two sides are very much committed to see the result start to yield within the Nigerian agribusiness.
It's really the silver bullet for Nigeria for food security, social security, and what have you. And this is the cardinal policy of this government to support agri in whatever way it can, to be able to be the main instrument for economic revival of Nigeria. But within the issues surrounding agri, land, labor, capital, one of the key factors.
The Nigerian Army has clarified that 38 personnel recently issued compulsory retirement letters were given fair hearing by the Board of Inquiry set up to investigate their offences, and that the exercise was not meant to witch hunt or victimize any of the officers. The Director, Military Civil Relations, Nigerian Army, Major General Rogers Nicholas, stated these when he featured on NTA Good Morning Nigeria program to shed more light on reasons for their actions. He says the military is poised to uphold professionalism and good moral character with strong respect for the tenets of democracy. He further stated that the affected officers were found culpable on what was described as service exigencies and political partnership.
It has to do with election, being partisan in election matters. And we all know that Nigerian Army shouldn't be involved in anything that has to do with election. You shouldn't get involved in election issues. You are supposed to do your job by providing enabling security so that elections can take place. But when you get involved, taking side, being partisan with electoral processes and trying to circumvent electoral processes, then of course you are looking for trouble.
He also dispelled insinuations that the army is playing politics with the matter.
Those who feel aggrieved, they have the option of appealing to Mr. President or have the option of going to the taking legal options. It's up to them. Whatever the consequences of such actions will be, whatever is the end of it.
Among the 38 affected by the compulsory retirement exercise, 9 were generals, 10 brigadiers general, 7 colonels, 11 lieutenant colonels, and a major. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force has refuted the report on the alleged pending retirement of senior officers connected with the ongoing investigation of arms purchase under the immediate past administration. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, NAF, Group Captain Ayodele Famoyinwa, says that the publication is unfounded and did not emanate from the Nigerian Air Force. He advised those responsible for the publication to always confirm their stories before publishing. Now, Nigeria and China are working towards improving agricultural productivity in Nigeria to further boost national food security and job creation. This comes with training young Nigerian farmers on modern technology in crop cultivation. Musa Babali reports.
The support from the Chinese government is coming at a time Nigeria is working towards diversifying the country's economy away from oil, and agriculture is expected to play a significant role in that regard. The Chinese embassy in Nigeria is to train Nigerian farmers, especially the young ones, with modern skills to improve their output in areas of cultivation, processing, and marketing of produce.
We are willing to share the experience with my Nigerian friends in agricultural development aspect. I do believe, since Chinese we can solve our food problem, definitely Nigerian people also can do it.
Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, said the training program is equal to the promise earlier made to Nigeria by the Chinese government to support the country attain self-sufficiency in food production.
Continue to be training our staff in the ministry. So when they acquire this knowledge, we are going to make them train all our staff in the Ministry of Agriculture so that we can have technicians and experts in the agricultural development.
Agricultural experts from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture are the first beneficiaries of the training exercise. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Lagos is our first port of call on Nationwide, where the federal government pledges for the agricultural sector. And Jennifer is our guide. Hello, Jennifer. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Joseph. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. In continuation of the implementation of the third National Fadama Development Project, the World Bank has released additional financing. This move is to support agricultural activities in 8 states across Nigeria. Consequently, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, in collaboration with the World Bank, has begun sensitizing stakeholders on the mode of implementation of the projects in the states. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
The Fadama project, which aims to boost agricultural production, aligns its activities with the federal government's agricultural development programs. So far, the World Bank has released a total of $39 million. The additional fund is meant to support clusters of farmers in states with comparative advantage in the production of cassava, rice, and sorghum. In view of this, stakeholders in Lagos gathered to review the progress so far made with a view to adopting new plans.
This is a project that has empowered a lot of our grassroots, that has moved people from less than subsistence level to commercial level. So it's a project that we need to continue to encourage. And even to the World Bank, to the federal government, and even Lagos State government, it's a champion project.
So we are here to see something different beyond production. We want to see what is going on downstream of production, which involves processing, packaging, and even until we get it to the consumers.
The stakeholders say the project has made significant impact.
For example, I can recall that the last mission, the number of production clusters we had has increased by about 25%. Equally, the number of farmers has almost doubled. We were having about 400 and something in the last mission. Now we are having over 800.
The commencement of the implementation of the third National Fadama Development Support Mission is seen by observers as a major boost to the federal government diversification drive. In Lagos, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
Now, stakeholders in the fight against drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking are meeting in Lagos. The Inter-Ministerial Committee on Drug Control is expected to work out modalities and to amplify the anti-drug message and broaden participation for a successful commemoration of the 2016 International Day on Drug. Ken Igbeluge has details.
The Interministerial Committee has the responsibility to coordinate the National Drug Control Master Plan as well as monitor and evaluate its outcome. The Director General, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, explained that this year's celebration will lay emphasis on the need to listen more to children and youths as the first step towards helping them to stay healthy and safe.
One of the things that we're targeting is the adolescent, because we found out that they seem to be the most vulnerable in terms of drug addiction and drug-related issues. And it's us in the Interministerial Committee to come together to think of ways in which we can use this theme and go out and enlighten people to ensure that we can reduce the intake of drugs. We believe that if the demand for drugs are reduced, then the supply side of drugs will not be as lucrative.
Some stakeholders spoke on the relevance of the meeting and how it will boost the fight against drug abuse.
We're going to key in specifically this year to mobilize people to get to know that it's only when we have a healthy nation, especially the youth, it's very apt for us to discourage them.
Looking out for drug abuse and listening for signs of drug abuse in the population is not just to look for the ones that are known to be banned, but also to look for any sign of drug abuse, even if it is not related to one that you know to already be listed.
The theme for this year's commemoration, which is evidence-based drug abuse prevention, is Listen First, and it is expected to hold on June 26th in Lagos. Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
And those are the top stories at this hour from the Lagos Network Center. Back to Joseph in Abuja for more on Nationwide News. Joseph, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. The protection of children from all forms of abuses and neglect will help develop them into resourceful and well-adjusted adults in the society. This was the focus of an enlightenment campaign at a school in Asokoro, organized by the Child Abuse Prevention and Youth Development Organization. Moplang Dakok has the report.
It is estimated that 15 to 25% of children in Nigeria experience one form of abuse or the other. This worrisome trend has necessitated a campaign which aims at sensitizing the students on how to recognize, prevent and handle cases of abuse.
And that child abuse is an abuse which is carried out by an adult or somebody who is older than you, that which can lead to mental disorder.
I learned a lot of things about child abuse, the prevention and how to go about it, how you report in case maybe you're either abused sexually, emotionally and otherwise.
I learned that the different forms of child abuse have grievous effects on the child that is being abused. It can either affect them in the now or in the future.
If we are being sexually abused, we should scream or we should report to the nearest authority that are close to us.
Members of the Child Abuse Prevention and Youth Development Organization maintained that the entrenchment of policies and programs that protect children from child abuse is key to overcoming the menace.
Awareness through the necessary agencies to sensitize the public about the existence, many, especially the issue of sexual abuse, many are not aware of it.
According to the group, the Child's Rights Act signed into law in 2003 is enough to deal with child abuses in the country, but regretted that the implementation of the act is poor and awareness still very low. In Abuja, Moplang Dakok, NTA News.
For more nationwide, let's join our Jos Network Center, where Femichit is standing by. Femichit?
Governor Simon Lalong has expressed optimism that the Plateau State Geographic Information System, PLAGIS, will reduce to the barest minimum conflicts associated with land acquisition in the state. The governor said this while inaugurating the facility at Ministry of Lands, Survey and Town Planning. Paul Dama reports.
Sincere apologies, our Jos Network Center seem to be experiencing some technical difficulty. If we can, we will rejoin them. This is News Nationwide. More reports will come your way after these messages. Join us again.
At such times, always remember 3 action words. Run, hide, report. Don't try to run towards the terror scene to save the situation, because there might be a second bomb blast or another attack. Run far away and take cover. Make sure you are safe first. Yes, it is in our nature to sympathize over the hurt, but remember, only trained personnel can help in such situations. When in a secured environment, promptly call relevant authorities and help will come. For anonymous reporting, call 09630-3250-5 or 0813-2222-106. If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The novel homegrown school feeding program just flagged off by the federal government. This is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live, as experts throw more light on the importance of the program to the Nigerian people. NTA Tuesday Live, educative, informative and incisive. Don't miss it.
What?
What are you doing?
Stop!
Stop! There you go.
Yay, Indomie! It's me! Like no other! It's me! Like no other!
amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
To all the unique children of the world, Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
We are here to serve, and indeed, Nigerians will get the service they have longed for and which they rightly deserve.
The leader today that we have in Nigeria is one the world has been waiting for. Nigeria is seen in a new and a different, very positive light.
With what President Muhammadu Buhari is doing, our economy will be strong and resilient to withstand the shocks.
He wants the best for this nation. We want the best for this nation. Our aspirations should be to put this country first, and together we shall make progress.
If we don't believe in our own country, nobody will believe in our own country. So we must make sure that we continue with the trajectory. We don't want to make a mistake of the past.
This president has a singular opportunity to make that difference because the whole country is behind him.
And by the grace of Almighty God and the sheer will and determination of the Nigerian people, we will come out stronger and more united than ever.
Always, we have lived together as brothers and sisters since long time in Muriva, without no mind that we have spoken different languages and celebration our cultural and diversity. No bombing, no cultism, no kidnapping. Nowadays, our children are trampoline to cultists. Today, we are suspicion one another. All this notorious behavior have scattered all over Nigeria. When are you going to change? More. When are you going to stop? Terrorism are unwanted visitors. Kidnapping are criminal. Cultism are barbaric. Do not destroy this country, oh. Our country, Nigeria, are blessed, oh. Are you see what I'm saying? Support Nigerian police force in their civil war against terror, kidnapping and cultism. Report any bad move around you. See and not talk, I kill old age. And to hear and does not behavior, I kill small picking. All of us have the duty of building Nigeria free of crime. That are our dream.
This message is from the Nigeria Police Force.
Admission forms for the 2016-2017 academic session of the NTA Television College Jos into its diploma courses are now on sale. NTA TV College Jos is the only federal government-owned specialized tertiary institution charged with the mandate of providing high-quality professional education in television production, engineering, and journalism. It runs diploma courses in TV production, TV journalism, and TV engineering. Applicants are required to have at least 5 credits in English language and mathematics at SSCE, NECO, or GCE O levels. Application forms can be obtained from the college at Rayfield Jos on payment of a non-refundable fee of 7,500 Naira in bank draft or at any NTA state capital station nationwide. Completed application forms should be returned to the office of the Academic Secretary, NTA Television College, Rayfield Jos, or to the Center of Purchase. For further inquiries, please call 080-655-87730. NTA Television College Jos, training you to be the best you can be.
You're welcome back. If you've just joined us, this is Nationwide. We now rejoin our Jos Network Center. Femichit is still standing by. Femichit, are you good to go?
Many thanks, Joseph. Governor Simon Lalong has expressed optimism that the Plateau State Geographic Information System, PLAGIS, will reduce to the barest minimum conflicts associated with land acquisition in the state. The governor said this while inaugurating the facility at Ministry of Land Survey and Town Planning. Paul Dama reports.
Governor Simon Lalong, who encouraged citizens to take advantage of the new system of digital land administration, also noted that the platform will guide transactions and help in reducing litigations associated with land acquisition.
Having brought to conclusion in 1 year a project that has been ongoing for 8 years and which has kept 55,000 applicants of land titles waiting for more than 10 years, that they will receive all the necessary support for manpower recruitment.
He tasked staff of the Ministry of Lands, Survey and Town Planning to be committed to their jobs and shun all corrupt practices. Governor Simon Lalong had also inaugurated the Maza and Zololo roads, from where he proceeded to the Jos North Local Government Secretariat, which has been relocated to its initial location along Masalachin Juma Street, Jos. Management Committee Chairman of Jos North Local Government Area, Mrs. Teresa Azi, briefed the governor of efforts to sanitize the state capital and also boost revenue, among others. Other projects inaugurated by the governor include the dental clinic, Dogon Cafe Road, where he announced to the delight of civil servants of the approval of the second batch of the bailout funds by the president, which will soon be disbursed for payment of salary arrears.
I've had cries of arrears, but the president has already signed the remaining balance for the arrears. So very soon we will process it and we'll start paying your arrears.
The governor also inaugurated the federal low-cost Rantia Road network, where he assured youths of the area that his administration will soon roll out a youth empowerment scheme to create employment for the youths. In Jos, Fadama, NTA News.
Weeks after the classroom block in LEA Primary School, Fapua community in Jos South collapsed, the pupils have continued their classes under unfavorable learning environment. Nenrot Nina Dinget, who visited the school, reports that the community is seeking the urgent assistance of government in rebuilding the school.
Fapa LEA Primary School, located in Du District of Jos South Local Government Area, was established since 1975 and has about 200 pupils. The heavy downpour last month, which lasted several hours, was said to have destroyed part of the school building. Head teacher of the school, Mr. Tadi Palm, explained that the collapsed building before now housed primary 1 and 2 pupils of the school. Following the unfortunate incident, Mr. Tadi said the pupils have been forced to stay in a makeshift store, while others were asked to occupy other classrooms, thereby making teaching and learning cumbersome.
The incident happened during the rainstorm on the 18th of May, and luckily for us it happened after school, after we had closed.
The head teacher added that the school has since forwarded letters of complaint to relevant authorities for necessary action.
We are appealing to government to come to our aid to help us and renovate the building for conducive learning to our children.
We don't have enough class for the children to come to the school. We want the government to come to us so that he may help us to do this structure.
Government, however, says it has received the report and plans are on the way to fix the collapsed building.
At the moment, the management has directed the department that's responsible, that's the works department, to do an inspection. Repairs will be carried out.
They also called on government to post qualified teachers to the school, provide quality teaching aids, as well as create a conducive environment. In Jos, Nerot Nina Dinget, NTA News.
And that does it from this end. Joseph, it's back to you for more news.
Thank you. As the federal government contemplates a new aviation policy towards repositioning the aviation industry, experts say concessioning Nigerian airports is the best way to start. They were speaking on Good Morning Nigeria on NTA Breakfast program. Joy Uzo monitored the program and now reports.
There are indications that concessioning of 4 major airports in the country will be part of the reforms contained in the policy being contemplated by the federal government. Reacting to the planned new aviation policy, guests on the program were very critical but supported the idea of the concessioning.
Going by what the government is trying to do at this point, my take is that we should look at the concessioning of all the airports. The simple reason is the federal government does not have the resources, fiscal or otherwise, to be able to sustain the operations of these airports at an optimally efficient levels.
I'll give you an example. In the US, you cannot start up an airline, a foreigner coming in to start an airline and own more than 25%. The 75% will be owned by US citizens, whether corporate or individuals. In our own situation, we don't have such a law. When Virgin Nigeria came here, he owned 49%, and Nigerian citizens owned 51%, and this was considered an aberration. So I believe we should concession, but we should do it properly. We should follow the due process. We must get the legislature into
into it to play its role and to lay the firm foundation.
On the issue of the expediency of a national carrier, the guests called on the federal government to expedite action in order to create job opportunities for Nigerians.
If we are serious in this country, if we take the right steps, we can get the national carrier up before the end of next year.
We have ARIC, we have Aero, support Aero or support ARIC or merge them, because both of them are virtually owned by AMCON. So put them together and form a national carrier if that's the way you want to go. But to start from scratch or looking for investors to come from everywhere and form a national carrier is not going to work.
They also cautioned state government against venturing into airport construction without adequate resources and plans for effective future maintenance. The state of infrastructure was also looked at, with guests citing poor cooling system as one of the many challenges inconveniencing the huge number of customers using Nigerian airports on a daily basis. The guests say this too needs to be addressed. In Abuja, Joy Uzo, NTA News.
In the meantime, to ensure the growth and development of the automotive subsector of the Nigerian economy, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Investment, Dr. Okechukwu Enalama, has inaugurated the Sector Skills Council in Abuja. Gabriel Odu reports.
Following the outcome of the nationwide survey of the skills gap of mechanics, the National Automotive Design and Development Council, in collaboration with the Ministry of Labour and Productivity and other relevant agencies, produced a modern curriculum for teaching automotive mechanics, hence the inauguration of the Sector Skills Council.
The function of the council is actually to be in charge of the curriculum development for the sector, to look at the trainees, oversee the training programs, oversee the certification, and ensure that the syllabuses and the trainees keep up to date with modern technology.
National Automotive Development Council has the mandate, to make sure that the automotive industry is driven appropriately and in accordance with the needs and aspirations of this nation.
We all have to come together to make sure we put things right in Nigeria through skill.
The Sector Skills Council is to, among other duties, create occupational standards and qualification bodies in Abuja. Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
INEC made stakeholders in Edo as PDP national team visit delegates ahead of primaries. These and more stories from our Benin Network Center with Ogochukwuka as our guide. Ogochukwu.
Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon. The need for political parties to avoid the use of hate and provocative languages has been re-emphasized. The resident electoral commissioner, INEC Edo State, Mr. Sam Olumeku, stated this while speaking at a stakeholders meeting in Benin on the forthcoming governorship election in the state. Steve Lonai-Nwokolo has details.
Olumeku sues for cooperation of the stakeholders to enable INEC conduct free and credible election.
Today we have decided to engage the stakeholders in a bid to interact with them, pass information, critical information to them, and of course take a feedback from them so that we can know, we can stand on the same page. That in a broad sense is why we have made them today.
Other speakers at the meeting, including the representative of the National Commissioner of INEC, Mr. Mustafa Leki, and heads of departments of INEC, shed light on the roles expected of their various departments, while the State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Chris Ezike, assures of the police and other security operatives' readiness to provide security during the election.
We took into cognizance the areas with difficult terrain, and so if you come out on that day, you will see that we have mitigated that problem by providing extra machines for those kind of areas.
There is need for an operational interface between the provider of the security and the beneficiary of the security. You must have to tell me what I'm calling to police.
Other participants expressed satisfaction with the stakeholders meeting. In Benin, Steve Lonai-Nwokolo, NTA News.
And still talking politics, a team from the national headquarters of the People's Democratic Party who visited Edo State to monitor the party's delegate election ahead of its primaries has expressed satisfaction with the exercise. Chairman of the team and former governor of Benue State, Mr. Gabriel Suswam, described PDP as a viable alternative in Edo State. Goodluck Enaini reports.
Chairman Chief Dan Obi and members of the Gabriel Suswan-led team monitored the ad hoc delegate election at Ikpobauha, Ward 5, Oredo, Wards 1, 3, and 5, as well as Ego, Ward 7, where 3 delegates emerged from each of the wards. Edo State PDP Chairman Chief Dan Obi and the chairman of the visiting team, Mr. Gabriel Suswam, emphasized the importance of the exercise to the success of the party in the forthcoming governorship election. The team expressed satisfaction on the conduct of the exercise.
Oh, the exercise is I'm quite impressed with the enthusiasm and the commitment of the people, especially the chairman and his members, towards this exercise, and some of the stakeholders, because we had a meeting with the major stakeholders, even the aspirant. We had a meeting with them and all of them are on the same page.
It's a way to show the resolve of our party members in ensuring that at the next election, Edo people will enjoy a PDP elected government.
The exercise is part of preparation ahead of the party's primaries scheduled for the 20th of this month. Some aspirants for the governorship election in Edo State have collected expression of interest form. In Benin, I am Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
A book titled Simple Tips on Enjoying Pregnancy to provide accurate information to pregnant women on the events of pregnancy and labor has been presented to the public at the University of Benin. Goodluck Enaini reports that it is to promote the life of expectant mothers and their unborn babies.
The 106-page book is divided into 7 chapters addressing issues on preventing infertility, preparing for pregnancy, physical exercises, nutrition in pregnancy, and care of the baby after delivery.
In simple terms, issues that is many years of caring for pregnant women have revealed as the most relevant in our environment.
I highly recommend this book as it will enhance maternal and fetal health, thereby reducing the maternal and prenatal morbidity and mortality.
This is just a way of doing my own bit, producing a book that women can read in their spare time so that they can improve their knowledge and be able to avoid the dangerous things that may cause complications in pregnancy.
It is a very, very important book that is filling a strategic gap in family life.
It's a very fulfilling day, not only for him, but of course for all of us who are doctors, who have always wished to be able to communicate in very simple languages to our patients.
Dr. Ehiga Enabudoso is a lecturer in obstetrics and gynecology at the University of Benin. In Benin, I am Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
We now rejoin Joseph for the continuation of the news. Good afternoon.
Many thanks, Ogo. Every 14th of June is set aside to create awareness on the importance of voluntary blood donation and self-supplying of any healthcare delivery. Addressing the media, Minister of State for Health, Dr. Osage Ehanire, says to meet the blood need of Nigeria, the present estimated blood need has to be juxtaposed.
It is customary to celebrate the ability to give to others what we greatly treasure, our blood. It is this act of altruism that we celebrate today. Blood transfusion saves lives and improves health, but many patients requiring it unfortunately do not have timely access to it. The need for blood transfusion may arise at any time, and its unavailability leads to many patients suffering complicated, compromised health, and possibly loss of life. In line with the dictates of the National Blood Policy and resolutions made during the 58th National Council on Health in March this year, I urge state governments to also take ownership of the blood safety program in their respective states.
Let's quickly take another commercial break. We'll be right back in a jiffy. Don't go away.
If you hear a bomb explosion or gunshots of an active shooter, that might be a terror attack. At such times, always remember 3 action words: run, hide, report. Don't try to run towards the terror scene to save the situation, because there might be a second bomb blast or another attack. Run far away and take cover. Make sure you are safe first. Yes, it is in our nature to sympathize over the hurt, but remember, only trained personnel can help in such situations. When in a secured environment, promptly call relevant authorities and help will come. For anonymous reporting, call 09630-3250-5 or 0813-2222-106. If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The novel Homegrown School Feeding Program just flagged off by the federal government. This is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live, as experts throw more light on the importance of the program to the Nigerian people. NTA Tuesday Live, educative, informative and incisive. Don't miss it.
What?
What are you doing?
Stop! Stop!
There you go.
Yay, Indomie!
Special in your way.
It's me! Like no other.
Somebody like you.
It's me! Like no other.
Just every day.
It's me! Like no other.
Everybody like Indomie.
Indomie! Like no other. It's me! Like no other. It's me! Like no other.
Here's to all amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
To all the unique children of the world, Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
We are here to serve, and indeed, Nigerians will get the service they have longed for and which they rightly deserve.
The leader today that we have in Nigeria is one the world has been waiting for. Nigeria is seen in a new and a different, very positive light.
With what President Muhammadu Buhari is doing, our economy will be strong and resilient to withstand the shocks.
He wants the best for this nation. We want the best for this nation. Our aspirations should be to put this country first, and together we shall make progress.
If we don't believe in our own country, nobody will believe in our own country. So we must make sure that we continue with the trajectory. We don't want to make a mistake of the past.
This president has a singular opportunity to make that difference because the whole country is behind him.
And by the grace of Almighty God and the sheer will and determination of the Nigerian people, we will come out stronger and more united than ever.
Always, we have lived together as brothers and sisters since long time in Muriva, without no mind that we are spoken different languages and celebration our cultural and diversity. No bombing, no cultism, no kidnapping. Nowadays our children are trampoline to cultists. Today we are suspicion one another. All this notorious behavior have scattered all over Nigeria. When are it going to change? More. When are it going to stop? Terrorism are unwanted visitors. Kidnapping are criminal. Cultism are barbaric. Do not destroy this country, oh. Our country, Nigeria, are blessed, oh. Are you see what I'm saying? Support Nigerian police force in their civil war against terror, kidnapping and cultism. Report any bad move around you. See and not talk, I kill old age. And to hear and does not behavior, I kill small pikin. All of us have the duty of building Nigeria free of crime. That are our dream.
This message is from the Nigeria Police Force.
Admission forms for the 2016-2017 academic session of the NTA Television College JOS into its diploma courses are now on sale. NTA TV College JOS is the only federal government-owned specialized tertiary institution charged with the mandate of providing high-quality professional education in television production, engineering, and journalism. It runs diploma courses in TV production, TV journalism, and TV engineering. Applicants are required to have at least 5 credits in English language and mathematics at SSCE, NECO, or GCE O levels. Application forms can be obtained from the college at Rayfield JOS on payment of a non-refundable fee of 7,500 Naira in bank draft or at any NTA state capital station nationwide. Completed application forms should be returned to the office of the Academic Secretary, NTA Television College, Rayfield JOS, or to the Center of Purchase. For further inquiries, please call 080-655-87730. NTA Television College JOS, training you to be the best you can be.
Glad to have you back. You're watching NTA Nationwide. To security matters now, Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase has appealed for calm as the police intensify investigation into the death of ASP Matthew Akpos in Bayelsa State. The appeal is consequent upon ensuring protests by aggrieved citizens. Matthew Akpos was allegedly killed by operatives of the State Command of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, early this month. A release from the office of the Force Public Relations Officer Olabisi Kolawole says the police is on top of the matter as all the policemen linked to the incident have been arrested, detained and undergoing investigation for possible prosecution. The IGP assures family and friends of the deceased that justice will be served. Rice production to receive a boost as Kebbi and Ebonyi State's government collaborate. These and more from our Sokoto Network Center with Zainab as our guide.
And welcome. The Nigeria Customs Service has urged Nigerians to see smuggling as an offense and dangerous to the nation's economy. Comptroller General, Nigeria Customs Service, Colonel Hamid Ali, retired, made the call while at the palace of District Head of Godaba in Godaba local government area of Sokoto State. Usman Mohammed Binji has more on the story.
The Comptroller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ali, retired, was at Garbawa to sympathize with the families and people of the area about the death of a commercial driver who lost his life in a misunderstanding with customs officials. He however called for compliance with the laws governing the operations of the Nigeria Customs Service. Responding, the district head of Garbawa, Muhammad Lawal Zayana, commended the customs boss for the visit, aimed at cementing relationship between the service and border communities. While urging his people to always respect constituted authorities, the district head also advised the officers of the service to always carry out their duties with caution. The Comptroller General was also at the Government Science Secondary School Guadabawa, where he lectured the students on the importance of international trades.
We should also take the opportunity to be able to put across to the people of Guadabawa the need for us to understand what customs is all about.
Before leaving Sokoto, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali, retired, visited Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol and the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol says the state government and the traditional institutions are working closely with the security agencies to ensure peace in the border towns.
I will urge you to continue to do your best with your men and officers in ensuring that you shore up the revenue that you receive and collect.
Sultan Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III observes that although a machinery has been put in place for the production of rice locally, there is the need to revisit the ban on the importation of rice through the land borders.
To reconsider this issue of closing land borders and stopping the importation of rice into our country because there is no food.
The Comptroller General also had an interaction with officers and men of the Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara States Area Command. In Sokoto, Usman Mohammed Benji, NTA News.
Governor Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has lauded the federal government's policy on food security, urging private sector to complement the effort through active participation for economic growth and sustainability. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that the governor stated this while receiving the deputy governor of Ebonyi State, Mr. Eric Kelechi, who paid him a visit in Birnin Kebbi. The report.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu commended the clear vision of President Muhammadu Buhari on national food security and self-sufficiency. The governor said the agricultural policy and financial support of federal government is a wake-up call to all farmers in the country and the need to multiply domestic agricultural production. Governor Bagudu emphasized the need for private sector to complement government efforts.
About food security and food sufficiency. People use these words without appreciating, but I'm glad the President is clarifying what the two meant.
Earlier, the Ebonyi State Deputy Governor, Mr. Eric Kelechi Igwe, said they came to Kebbi State to study rice farming and how to adopt the techniques. He commended government and farmers' commitment from what he saw during his tour of rice farm in the state.
I'm sure it's also something that happened in the north, but for the intervention and effort of some of your predecessors who saw the vision, and then yourself who believe that this is the best way to go.
Mr. Eric, however, advocated for partnership between governments and private sector to boost the country's agricultural potential for sustainable development. The deputy governor and his entourage visited rice farms and processing company in the state. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Joseph. Good afternoon.
Zainab from our Sokoto Network Center there. Japan International Cooperation Agency says it has lived up to its bidding in overseas development assistance to Nigeria. The agency's chief representative in Nigeria said this in Abuja while interacting with the media ahead of the agency's president's visit to Nigeria. Omini Odeng reports.
Japan International Cooperation Agency assistance to Nigeria is in agriculture, water supply, education, health, culture and gender mainstreaming issues. Mr. Hirotaka says through the African Business Education Initiative for Youths, 22 Nigerians have been trained and currently selection for this year has been concluded and 29 youths are due for the program. Others include several grant aids, rural water supply and technical assistance projects. A total of $28.46 million has been provided in this direction, while about 2,327 hand pump boreholes have been provided, with more than 1 million Nigerians having access to portable water supply through the federal government JICA-assisted rural water supply program. On agriculture, JICA says it is partnering Nigeria to ensure sustainable food security in the rice value chain in view of the diversification of the economy by the federal government.
We started TCAT process since 1993, when the other European donor agencies got tired to support Africa. Now, at the time, Japan stood up to support. Why don't we support Africa?
While in Nigeria on a 2-day working visit from Thursday, the Japanese International Cooperation Agency President, Mr. Shinichi Kyotoka, will inspect the clean energy by solar electricity generation system, integrated solid waste management system, reduction of non-revenue water scheme, and the emergency improvement of electricity supply facilities, all in the Federal Capital Territory. JICA President is also billed to visit one of the internally displaced persons camp in the FCT. Omini Udan, NTA News.
Let's now turn our attention to news on the foreign scene. Protests in Kenya over arrest of opposition members of parliament, and Ethiopia criticizes European Union migrant policy towards Eritrea. For details on these and more, let's join Chimdimban Dubisi on Global Tidbits.
4 Kenyan parliamentarians from an opposition party have been arrested by the police for hate speech. They are alleged to have called for the killing of former Prime Minister and opposition leader Raila Odinga, for which 3 parliamentarians from the ruling party allegedly made the same statement. The arrest has sparked waves of protest in opposition stronghold area in the capital. In South Africa, at the sentence hearing of Olympic athlete Oscar Pistorius on the murder of his girlfriend, River Steenkamp, our prisoners gave evidence of the athlete's alleged abusive and aggressive conduct in prison. River Steenkamp's father, testifying for the first time since the case started 3 years ago, said Oscar Pistorius must pay for killing his daughter. And 5 suspects of human trafficking caught with 12 Burundian girls are being held by Tanzanian immigration officers. The government has renewed efforts to tackle human trafficking, with over 500 women discovered to be stranded in Asia and Middle East after being lured to non-existent jobs by traffickers. That's Global Tidbits. Chimdama Mbisi, NTA News.
Let's talk sports now. Nigeria's The Tigers on the verge of qualification for the 2016 Rio Olympic Women Basketball event as Team North Central emerges National Under-17 Cricket Championship. Kene Mabudike has details on our sports update.
A 3-pointers by American-based Ezinne Kalu in the last second of the fourth quarter Tuesday gave Nigeria's The Tigresses hopes of qualifying for the 2016 Rio Olympics basketball event.
Kalu launches a 3. Go! Can you believe it? Unbelievable!
The Nigeria's women team, who on Monday lost 60 to 71 points to Belarus in their first match of the 2016 FIBA Women's Olympic qualifying tournament, came from behind to beat South Korea 70 points to 69. Nigeria will now wait for the results between Belarus and Korea midweek to know their level of qualification. The third edition of the Nigeria Cricket Federation National Under-17 Girls Championship 2016 has ended in Abuja, with Team North Central emerging champions after defeating maiden edition winners Team South South by 8 wickets.
In 2014 edition, we took third, and last year we took fourth. So this pains us so much and make us prepare well for this 2016 edition.
Team Southeast beat Team Northwest by 3 wickets in the third-place match, while Team Southwest came fifth. As the 2016 US Open tees off this week in Pennsylvania, world number 2 golfer Jordan Spieth says he has put behind what happened to him at the Masters 2 months ago, where he failed to defend his title. The 22-year-old American, who hopes to compete at the Rio Olympics, insists he is focused on winning the US Open back-to-back. With sports update, Kenan Imabodike, NTA News.
And that's Nationwide for today. Thank you very much indeed for your company. I'm Joseph Johnson. Bye-bye.